What's up YouTube? Brick Bruiser here, bringing you a quick little video on clipping. Um, Clipping is a pretty important part of the game. It's essentially what it does is allows you to shorten or basically cancel out one animation by recasting another animation. I know we got some new league, some new clan members that joined DCU getting into it, and so far all of them want a DPS. So if you're going to be DPSing, you got to learn how to clip, maximize your damage, power output, your timing, all that stuff. So just a real basic video, about 15-20 minutes long. Um, One of my buddies joined in halfway. You might hear some baby crying in the background. I do apologize for that, but we're gonna go ahead and get started. First of all, sorry, what we need to talk about is just what clipping is. Again, it's shortening an animation by casting another animation. It does not cancel the effects, so the effects of whatever you did still will work, but just the animation stops. Animation will stop. There's also a hierarchy to it. There's 4 levels to it, if you want to think of it that way. At the bottom of the level, the bottom of the list, is your weapon combos. You know, your basic weapon combos, whether they be melee or ranged. Basically anything you do with your weapon that procs a white number. Boom, like all this stuff right here. This is all precision based damage. Your melee combos, even your range combos, anything with your weapon, that's gonna proc a white number. That's a weapon combo. That's gonna be at the bottom of the list as far as priority. The next one above that is any basic damage dealing power. So just a basic damage dealing power like this. Boom, cast it. Yellow numbers start to proc. Those numbers are based on your might stat. Um, Precision is your white numbers, might is your yellow numbers. So any power that boosts any power that does damage essentially is going to be the second thing above that list. So that's going to be number 2 on that list. Actually, if you want to think of it from the bottom, the weapon combos will be number 4, and your basic damage powers will be number 3. The one right above that would be any move that buffs you. So think about anything that might boost your control resistance, boost your weapon damage, those types of things, boost your crit chance. Those are going to be your buffs, and those are number 2 on the priority list. So they're going to beat out your basic damage powers. Lastly, on the top of the list, which is number 1, is going to be any ability or power you use that heals you. I believe shields, moves that cast shields on you or your group mates, also count in that top tier. So obviously every single power can do damage, can DPS pretty well. But if you have a power that's secondary is heal, you might have some heal moves. You can actually use those to clip if you want to. Or if you have a secondary tank, you can use your shields and stuff to clip your animations. So again, just kind of experiment with your build. But with that in mind, just remember weapon attacks, your white numbers are the bottom of the list. Then you have your basic damage dealing abilities. Then you have your buffs, and then you have your heals and your shields, which always beat out everything. So with those things in mind, let's actually get into an example, actually show you guys what that clipping is all about. I'm going to show you my powers real quick. So I'm an ice character right now. I started out for a while as a tank, but now I'm getting to doing some damage DPSing. If you don't know ice, it's basically broken into these 2 trees: storms and cryogenics. Storms is basically freezing other people, cryogenics is freezing yourself. I'm going to show you the key moves in this loadout from this tree. We got cold snap, cools your body temperature. Some incoming damage will be directed back. It's another fire power, does something similar. But what we're looking at here is your power interactions. First of all, it grants you a chill effect, gaining 5 of those consecutively. Activates ice armor. Ice armor just boosts your damage and whatnot when you're in damage roll. Boosts your defense when you're in tank roll. Pretty basic, but very important. Also, in the damage roll, recover power, which is your blue bar, when you activate Arctic Gust, Avalanche, Ice Bash, any of those moves there. And we're using multiple of those moves there. About 3 of them are in this rotation. Speaking of Ice Bash, that's the next move. This is an attack buff, like I was telling you earlier. So this is basically a 3 on the hierarchy list for clipping. This is actually a buff as well, Cold Snap. So both of these have some pretty high priority, and they can clip with a lot of other moves. So we're going to be utilizing Cold Snap and Ice Bash to clip. This one gives you chill effects and gives you back power. This one just boosts your damage, your critical strike chance, critical strike damage, and also gives you chill effects. So this one's really cool. We're definitely going to use those two. The other moves in the tree are going to be in the Storms tree. We're going to start off with essentially what we're going to be using here. Inescapable Storm you have to purchase, but Arctic Gust is a very important move. Blast your enemies with a sustained cone of frigid air. You look at the power interactions. Enemies with Frostbite may be rooted in place and form icy fields damaging nearby enemies. So that's a PI, a power interaction. Enemies that are frostbitten are going to take extra damage. You want to try to use your power interactions. They're different for each power, obviously. Mine involve a lot of frostbite. Fire involves burning, for example. Electricity involves charging, things like that. So just learn your power interactions. But for this build and this power, we're going to be utilizing that frostbite. And that Arctic Gust is going to be our bread and butter. You'll see why. If you look at the damage roll here, it causes additional damage if enemies are standing in an ice field. Also causes additional damage while Ice Armor is active, and that's again comes from your chill effects. Bitter Winds is a good one. Sometimes on my rotation, sometimes it's not. It just gives you a little aura of ice, does some extra damage, and also inflicts frostbite. Good move to have. Wintry Tempest is a major part of this loadout right here. It's actually going to be our opener every single time. So it's a large AoE freeze, a little blizzard basically. Freeze the area near your target. Icy crystals damage your target and nearby enemies. Also summons a fierce localized storm to damage and knock down enemies near you. Again, power interaction, this one inflicts frostbite. So this is a large AoE dot that inflicts frostbite, which is why we're going to open with it. 99% of the time it's going to be our opener. Also, because it's a basic damage power, it's pretty low priority. So we're going to use our other moves to outclip it, and you'll see that later. That's basically the core of the rotation. I just go ahead and I purchased Snow Devil just to have some extra, a pet doing some extra damage while I can focus on my rotation. Just to boost the numbers up. And I took Blizzard as a supercharge. Again, just when I supercharge, ready extra damage. If you're gonna be DPSing, that's your job. As much damage as possible. Don't worry about healing. Don't worry about pulling aggro. Don't worry about power. Just focus on damage. That's what we're gonna be doing. So with that in mind, I'm just gonna go ahead and give you a basic overview of what my rotation is. Then I'm gonna show you where the clipping comes in. Here's something very important. I'm gonna actually show you my loadout and how I have it arranged. I have it slotted in here so I can go from left to right. Start with Wintry Tempest, that's our opener. Cold Snap, Ice Bash, Arctic Gust. This is my supercharge, and this is my pet. These two are just going to be the extra moves on the loadout, but these four right here are the core of your damage. Now I'm going to show you what those powers do. Alright, so here's my Wintry Tempest. That's the casting animation. Alright, here's my Cold Snap. So it's going to start giving me back power and reflecting damage back. Here's my Ice Bash. What that does is just makes my melee attack do some extra ice damage. Also boosts my crit chance and all that stuff. And then Arctic Gust. That's going to be our bread and butter right there. Most definitely. Now, I just showed you each move individually. I'm going to show you what they look like when you do them as fast as possible without clipping. Meaning if I use one power, wait for the animation to finish, and use the second power, this is what it's going to look like. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now you can see lots of yellow popping up, pretty decent damage. We're just going to actually spam this Arctic Gust until my cooldowns are back and ready. So I'm going to recast, go hit number 2, hit number 3, Arctic Gust. Arctic Gust again. Arctic Gust again. That's basically the rotation. Pretty decent. You see some good yellow numbers popping up. So damage isn't too bad. But what I want to show you is the clipping. Again, I'm taking you back to the loadout. So the way I have it set up is to go from left to right. Wintry Tempest is just a basic damage move. Cold Snap is actually a buff. Ice Bash is a buff. And this is my finishing, like my channeling move for high damage. So what I'm going to do is, as fast as possible, I'm literally going to hit all three of these abilities in that order. 1, 2, 3. Wintry Tempest, Cold Snap, Ice Bash. And I'm also immediately going to go into Arctic Gust. And you're going to see the difference when I do it and clip them all. Now, I don't know if you caught it there. I'm actually going to run it back. Bring up the Snow Devil. We're going to clip all three. Boom. Now look at those numbers. And these three moves are awesome because they have the same exact timing on the cooldown. So once one comes back, they're all ready to come back. So what do we do when they're back? Right around the circle, 1, 2, 3, back to Arctic Gust. And you can actually see it on the actual loadout bar at the bottom itself, you know, when they begin to go red. Because the second they go red is when I activate it and they're on cooldown. So you'll see I'm literally just holding L2. I'm hitting square, triangle, circle. Boom, boom, boom. 1, 2, 3. Super fast. Then I'm going into my last move. Just like that. Nice damage. You see the yellows just keep popping, keep popping, keep popping. Now that's one example of how you can use clipping, especially when it comes to damaging. So you're not necessarily waiting for the animations to finish. The effect of the move is still gonna work out, but you're just cutting the animation there. So that's what we're doing. That's one of my loadouts. It's more of a range loadout. I'm gonna actually show you another one that utilizes. Let me just make sure this is imprinted. That utilizes melee instead. It's actually going to be a different loadout. Let me get out of combat. Alright, here we go. This is a martial arts melee build, but we're going to do something very similar. You're going to see a few similarities. We're still going to open with Wintry Tempest and go straight into Ice Bash, but now we have some other options for DPSing. This is a melee build, so it's a little bit different. But Snowball is going to be the move that we spam, basically. The key part of the rotation is Wintry Tempest into Ice Bash, use your melee combo, and then Snowball. The previous loadout was all powers, all yellow numbers. I'm going to be incorporating some melee combos into this one. The other two moves, Frost Blast, is just, you know, for certain group situations, and Reflection is just in case I'm in trouble, put up a shield. Vacuum Bubble is just a good AoE stun, supercharge, I mean. But the crux of this build, Wintry Tempest, Ice Bash, and Snowball. So again, remember, weapon combos are at the bottom of the list. So any weapon combo I do, for example, I'm going to show you this knee drop. Tap melee 3 times and hold for the third one. 1, 2, 3, and I'm going to do a knee drop. We got 2 crits right there. There we go. So it's doing about 500 without a... Yeah, about anywhere from 3 to 500 without a crit. So what you're going to notice, you have to be very, very attentive to it. But I'm going to show you what happens when I clip the knee drop animation with another power. So you're going to be looking for 2 different numbers, a white number somewhere between 3 to 500, which is, you know, just normal knee drop, and you're going to be looking for this Snowball, a yellow number. So again, weapons can get clipped by any power, so I'm going to start the combo and immediately do my knee drop and then throw a Snowball. So knee drop, Snowball. Now I'm going to clip it so that my Snowball cancels out the knee drop animation. So 1, 2, 3, boom. You didn't even see me knee drop, but if you notice very quickly, the 534 appeared and the yellow number from the Snowball. I'll do it again. 1, 2, 3, clip. 635 with a Snowball damage. So you do it fast enough. I did a little bit slow there. You could actually see me jumping and come back. Well, that one is as fast as you can do it. I didn't even jump off the ground, but the 500 from the knee drop still procced. So this is what a melee DPS is going to be looking to do. You know, combo your big damage superpowers, sorry, weapon combos into your powers. Snowball has a 2-second animation, so I can literally just do this all day. To make it better, what I'm going to do is incorporate the other two core areas of this rotation, the Wintry Tempest and Ice Bash, and watch, you're going to see how the damage looks. The Wintry Tempest is going to do AoE. It's going to get clipped by Ice Bash. Ice Bash is going to make my melee damage, my weapon damage, do some yellow numbers with ice, and I'm still going to be clipping in the Snowball, and this is what it's going to look like. Pretty cool. That's what makes a good DPS right there, where you can get your clipping and your timing, really maximize the damage. Also, just a note, sodas count as a heal, so you can actually clip animations with a soda. See, it's kind of silly, but you can do it. Also, trinkets are the same way. I can do this knee drop and cancel it with a trinket pop, or cancel it with a orbital strike, cancel it with a supply drop, or you can do all types of crazy things. But I mean, once you learn how to clip, that's when you really get deep into the combat and start to have fun with it. So I hope that helped out. I'm gonna cut the video off here. If you like what you see, give it a like. You know how this stuff goes. See you guys in the next vid.